Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am very happy to have you here. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who he was at work and he had somebody experience a heart attack while he was there. And he did CPR and everything that he could to try to, save him until the EMT showed up. And in return, he was invited to the funeral and the wake. And so he was saying that he didn't think he wanted to go. But I told him, I was like, honestly, it might be good for you, to hear how appreciative they are. It might be good for you and for them to hear how appreciative they are for everything that you did to try to save him, It's not everybody that would jump into action like that, and granted, there are a lot of us out there, but some of us are too afraid that we might make the damage worse or something like that. But he wasn't going to go, and I told him, I said, when Greg passed away, my son jumped in and did CPR while I was on the phone with 911. And he kept him alive at least long enough for all of us to be able to get him, to say goodbye, and so that Greg could donate his organs. And I told him, by proxy, by trying to save Greg's life, even though he didn't, he still saved the lives of many other people who got Greg's organs. And so by proxy, he saved a lot of other lives. And that's an accomplishment. That's wonderful. And I make sure to tell my son that, that he did everything that he could. It wasn't his fault. And he actually saved a lot of other lives out there. And so he should be proud of himself for that. And so I hope that my friend can actually take a sense of pride and knowing that he did everything he could. It wasn't his fault. And he helped a lot of his family at least see that there are still good people out there who will try at least to do everything that they can to help somebody. So, but that kind of goes to show you how afraid we are to take, or to let ourselves feel the accomplishments and feel that warmth and allow that love in and allow that recognition. I know as a child, I was told many times, don't let it go to your head, or, oh, well, yeah, you did that right, but you did this and this and this and this and this wrong, or getting criticized of, hey, you finally got something right, or something like that, and it really kind of diminished the accomplishment, the sense of accomplishment that I was feeling at the time, especially as a kid, you know? But when I look back, the people that usually told me that were the people that were afraid to share the spotlight. You know, you did something right and they weren't willing to acknowledge it, or they would acknowledge it but minimalize it, and that's not fair. You know, you should take pride in your accomplishments. You know, many people say that, like I said, don't let it go to your head, or something to that effect, or they'll say that you're full of yourself, or something like that. You know, especially the way the people who don't want to share the spotlight. But why not? You know, you've done so many good things in your life that have had an impact, not just on that immediate person, but for people beyond that as well. There was one thing I used to say when I was on this other platform a long time ago, and I just totally forgot it. But you need to celebrate your accomplishments, you know, and don't let anybody else talk you out of that, please. Yeah, you never know whose life you're saving just by giving a smile and a compliment, or even just saying hi. You know, there are so many people out there that can be inspired just by a smile. And it doesn't take very much time, you know. It doesn't take very long to point out somebody's, like, clothing or even demeanor. Some people, you know, you have no idea the lives that you could save just by telling somebody that, I love your smile, or you got such a nice smile, or you got such pretty eyes, or something to that effect. You know, it will change their whole day. I mean, I've had people come into my store and tell me, you just made my day. And all I've said is, hey, how's it going? And they answer, and it's just like, oh, I'm doing pretty good too. But actually having that initial conversation makes their day. You know, that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time when you think about it. That, you know, it's kind of sad that apparently, you know, they didn't get a lot of that today. And they should, just like you should. You know, treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, like I said before, my daughter was writing a poem, and she was just like, well, what should I say? And I go, what would you have liked somebody to say to you when you were in that situation? Handle it like that. It doesn't take much to save a life. You know, and they say that, you know, one negative complaint can erase 10 positive compliments. That is true to a point. If you start training your brain to really take those and internalize those compliments, then that one negative complaint or something to that effect still hurts a little bit, but it's more like a mosquito bite instead of being run through with a sword, you know? So, you know, it just, every once in a while, just, especially when you're in a good mood or something like that. I had my second late fiance's sister had a friend that posted on his Facebook page, if you're in a bad mood, build somebody else up, then you'll both feel better. Oh man, is it true. You know, that smile, that, you know, lifted spirit makes me feel so much better, you know. Now, there are those people who will take the compliment the wrong way. But, you know, that's on them, not on you. You tried. You were, especially if you were sincere, then that's on them. I mean, in those moments, we got to remember that what people think of you has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. And you got to take that to heart. They get, they get miserable, and a lot of people just want to bring us down to their level. We can't let that happen. We've got to stay strong, knowing who we are, knowing our sincerity, knowing our hearts. So, you know, compliment yourself. Give yourself the compliments that you're seeking from other people. You know, it does work. And say it out loud so that it registers, you know, in the auditory system, the vocal system, in both parts of the brain. And if someone comes back at you with a negative attitude, you know, just remind yourself that you were being sincere and you tried. You know, try not to defend yourself because they're in too bad of a mood to hear it, honestly. And just try not to take it personal. Because, like I said, as long as you're sincere, that's on them. You know, they just don't want to hear it. Okay, well, don't expend your energy in that direction then. So, just try to stay strong. I know it's hard. I mean, I think I've hit the delirium part of sleep deprivation. My insomnia just kicked my butt last night. I tried to go to sleep, wound up not going to sleep until 2:30, was back up at 7 with the kids, and could not go back to sleep. I'm sitting there going, no. But you know what? I'm doing it. I'm here. I'm still pushing. A little weirder, a little bit crazier. And I have to mention the part. But, yeah. But yeah, drop me a comment. You know, have you encountered this situation before? And, you know, give me the best situation that you've encountered like this. And, you know, be proud of yourself for the way that you handled it, because you did the best that you could. So, if you like my style, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Do something good for yourself. You do deserve it.